Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and we are here with another video in the new standard. This is post Oko ban. So I'm gonna start with budget build series after we get a couple of the dumps of MTGO 5.0 lists. I want to build towards a meta deck, so I want to see just kind of where standard kind of shakes up. Likely be an adventure deck first. The Fires deck is going to prove to be difficult to build a budget deck with, but I'll give it a shot. So what we have here is, I know Simic, we just got out of Simic, but it's more around the theme that kind of went away for a while. It's the Elementals, particularly built around Risen Reef. This was one of my favorite cards a while back. It became completely useless in the face of Oko, so now it's coming back, our little Elemental Beach Crasher. So this is a Quasi-Duplicate Risen Reef ramp deck. So what we're trying to do is ramp early with Leafkin Druids, Paradise Druids, try to get out a Risen Reef as soon as possible, copy the Risen Reef with Quasi-Duplicate, where possible, play a bunch of Elementals, trigger it, get a bunch of lands into play, and then either Mass Manipulation, steal their board, Nissa pumping into it, Agent of Treachery, copy the Agent of Treachery, Quasi-Duplicate, Cavalier of Thorns, copy duplicate. The Great Henge is another card I wanted to play but became Elks. So these are a lot of cards that just kept becoming Elks that are suddenly viable again. So in the past, this deck struggled with the issue of drawing its entirety. So these decks usually played some number of Nexus of Fate to prevent from decking out. The alternative for us in this case is we're playing two Fae of Wishes. What Fae of Wishes will do is allow us to search our sideboard, to which we have a Jace Wielder of Mysteries. So it's alt win con by drawing our deck. The rest of the deck is basically you have Healer of the Glades versus the aggro matchup to bring in Aether Gust versus red-green, Negate versus control decks or Fires decks, Return to Nature versus Fires or Nexus. And then we have a couple one-ups. We have Vivien that can fight planeswalkers or creatures or just make our board bigger. Tamiyo to get stuff back. Karn shuts off the cat oven. Stolen by Fae, if we could pump a lot of mana, we could just make a bunch of 1/1s. And then another copy of Mass Manipulation out of the board. But basically, I just want to play Risen Reef, Cavalier of Thorns, and the Great Henge again. So this is the shell that I'm going to be playing with. We'll try to get closer to Mythic. We are at Diamond 2. So we'll fire it up, play some games. There is, I noticed, the Historic queue up. I'll probably put up a video in the next day or so on a Historic deck, probably some sort of Soul Sisters Weenie life gain deck, now that we got a couple cards spoiled in terms of Soul Warden and the 1-mana flyer, I forget its name, that becomes bigger. So I haven't played too much of the new standard, to be honest, so I'm not too sure exactly. We played a lot of Mardu Knights that day, but since then I went to play Pioneer and Paper, another 2-1, so went 2-1 split, just to prize out. Played 3 against 3 Is It in Soul decks. We'll keep this hand. Put back a Fae probably here. The Pioneer Fires continues to be a sweet deck. So we don't want any more lands. We would like... So the interesting thing here is I could go Leafkin. Hey, Quantum. Okay, so probably just set up here. So we can ultimately go bigger than them. And I think going Risen Reef, copying the Risen Reef will be good. Domri Fight's a little annoying. So Risen here. Take action. So we could actually make 2 copies of Risen Reef here. Or no, just one still. Oh, that's a new animation on Fabled Passage. Okay, so no follow-ups, at least good. If they had like a Spellbreaker. I'll have to check that out with Ryder. So here, just gonna copy, try to get ahead on cards. Oh, that's actually really good. No attacks here. So here, I'm probably just gonna go Cloudkin. They got rid of Elemental. Oh, they have a second Domri. Fight again. So I'm gonna trade here. Feel like that's probably worthwhile. So we'll draw a card here. So here I could draw another card, or I could try to agent and then copy agent. I think we just draw a card here. Obviously would have been better with our boy out, Risen Reef. So if they play like a Skargan Hellkite or something, I'm happy here. I might just... No, I want to take Domri off the table. Okay, so let's see if we can do you. Arena's been a little glitchy. So, one sec. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're off. So let's just animate an island here. Oh, no. So I'm just going to take this out. And then I think we just Fae of Wishes this turn for mass manipulation. And then I can just steal multiple things next turn. Ceratops is surprisingly annoying. They go face. So if they have collision, we're dead anyways. Okay, they don't. You are... What's your color identity? So let's scry here. Don't think we want Nissa. So let's do this. Take Zerta. Play out Leafkin. We'll attack in. And then just I'm gonna hold this back for now. Like, I guess we're dead to Skargan Hellkite if we don't play this out. Opponent's flooded quite a bit. Cool. Grinded him out there. So in this matchup, probably want the Aether Gusts. Vivien's good, and I'll probably take the healers. And then coming out, Cloudkin could probably come out, and Cavalier Gales. Probably Mass is fine. We can steal their stuff. Agent's good. Shave down a Nissa maybe, just because they'll probably bring in like questing beast and stuff. We still have like the Faes that could find it. Maybe just a Great Henge. Or maybe, you know, cut down that, keep in the Great Henge. If we can get it down, it's good for the life gain. Because we can get a quick Cavalier down. Henge gets cost reduction. I'd rather the green Cavalier to the blue Cavalier because they have Ceratops. His hand doesn't really do anything. Okay, his hand's much better. So I'm gonna put back an island. It's a little awkward just drawing more lands. Oh, they took a land off the top for us. Let's just block like that. Henge is still a way away. Yeah. It's a hell of a curve for the opponent. Yeah, we're pretty far behind here. My guess is they fight, attack in for another 6. Ceratops with haste. Yeah! This hand was not doing enough quick enough. Let's bring back the Cavaliers. Take down a Henge. Take down Mass. Go like that. Gruul has those draws sometimes when you can go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. And like their early plays are a lot better than ours. I'll probably keep this hand. Paradise can help us ramp. Aether Gust can slow them down a bit. If they have a Pelt Collector on 1, we can reset it. want more of a payoff card. If we need to, Fae of Wishes can just be defensive. Or the opponent's got the exact same draw. I'm gonna do this now. So I might keep this to just do Fae. Let's just cast this. Because I could do Stolen from Fae, bounce this, pay a bunch of mana into it to get a whole bunch of fairies. I might want a couple Krasis in this deck, to be honest. This is an interesting turn. Because I can Aether Gust. I can Fae. So Fae doesn't really get me much here. I could get Mass Manipulation, but I'm a mana off. I think we just pass the turn. Because that's my whole turn. Next turn I don't have enough to take the Spellbreaker. I'm just going to reset the Spell Collector. Like, Nissa would be okay just as a buffer. No blocks just yet in case we draw Nissa. Or we can just draw another land. That's cool. Stolen by Fae doesn't do much on this board. Let's go Mass Manipulation. This has been a weird... We haven't seen a single green Cavalier in 3 games. That seems a little odd. Let's see. Let's get rid of this Cavalier. And let's play one Krasis. That was a weird kind of draw. Usually, we kind of did the thing in game 1. It's actually interesting. It's like the Jeskai Cavaliers feels kind of clunky when you actually have to cast your Cavaliers for mana. Well, there was the one game last night I was playing in Pioneer. Like, what's this? This time would be great if we had a green source. We keep... Put a Henge back. I was playing against Insoul with my Fires deck, and in 3 games, I didn't see a single Fires, so I was just playing bad 4-color control. So this is Gruul Adventure. So I'm not going to attack because they can have Stomp that would double up and kill both these. I want to play the Cavalier next turn and follow it up with the Great Henge. That's pretty sweet. It makes an extra mana. Double Fae of Wishes. Opponent has my attention. Any deck that plays Fae of Wishes has my attention. So because they show Flame Sweep, I don't want to go Risen Reef yet. We'll go Temple. And this is good because I could change when the Cavalier dies, I can get another Cavalier. Do I want Fae of Wishes? So what am I getting against this deck? I can get Negate. I can get... I think we don't want it yet. So this kind of gets worse now. You're just a mana dork. So this is when the fun comes. So Risen Reef draws a card, gets a card, everything like that. Cool. What do I want in this matchup? Maybe just Vivien. I don't even know if I want Negates. Don't really know what the opponent's doing. I'll just take a Vivien. And I will... drop a Great Henge, split it like that. I think we're probably just going to be beat down in this matchup. Vivien can pressure the opponent. If they're going to have a lot of these like dummy chump blockers. I wish there was a button that you can just like ask the opponent what their deck is. This hand doesn't do anything. This hand does things. I can put Fae down right now. Like, opponent's deck is sweet. From the limited we saw so far. Okay, so it's just like Timur with Fae for like some utility cards. So this guarantees Nissa next turn. Or we can do this and then play Vivien. And then have Vivien kill Edgewall. Which is probably what I like better. So kind of want to see a land here. That's annoying. So it's just Timur Adventure. That's incredibly annoying. So I actually don't mind the Beanstalk because we can steal it. Embercleave. Okay. Hello. Land into Vivien. Land into Vivien. You're not the land I wanted. Here I'm just gonna copy here. I'm not really gonna block. That's sweet. Get 2 lions. Embercleave Beanstalk Giant. Okay, we're gonna play this deck. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, they got us. Problem is I need something out for Vivien to work, and we're a line short for mass manipulating. Alright, so if that's the case, we want Return to Natures and it's probably it. Maybe go down a Quasi, go down a Cloudkin. Like, we really just need to get the mana faster than our opponent. And maybe I want Beanstalk Giant in the deck. It gives us a ramp. This deck mulligans terribly. Just in case we draw something else, I'd rather this on 2. Yeah. So this is worse if they have Stomp. I probably should have Scryed first. If they have Stomp, they get to kill both of these. Yeah, it's not the worst. So we will just pass the turn. I'm probably going to throw the Risen Reef in front of the Lovestruck Beast here. I actually don't have enough mana to do this mass manipulation. Fairly certain we lost this one. Yeah, we lost that one. That's a bit discouraging. Today is Thursday, so it is not Brawl Day. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna play that Timur deck. Cut one of these. Cut the Krasis. Play 3 Beanstalk. We'll try that. See if it helps. Let's see what we can do here. Might just be Beanstalk's too, or Risen Reef's too slow. We haven't really had an opportunity to really abuse it. We've seen 1 green Cavalier in now 6 matches. Alright, I'm keeping this. I'm not playing Goose because it feels pretty bad without Oko. Okay, so this sacrifice. So I'm going to Beanstalk here. Fae should get Karn in this matchup. It'll shut off. Just get a forest. No attacks. Opponent is stuck on lands. It's a weird way for adventure to show. No blocks. Second Devil's a bit scary. If they get a cat out or an oven, we are in a bit of trouble. Okay. So I'm going to shock here because I want to keep this back as a blocker. Whiff. Okay, well we got Duplicate in there. So Duplicate will be nice to make another copy of Cavalier. I don't like how this animation just shows Beanstalk like into the void. So here I can do if they just spend a bunch of resources here. I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to block like this. They can kill the Cavalier, but then I'm just going to steal this other Mayhem Devil. Or I can... No, I think we do this first. Yoink. This deck's much better with Mayhem Devil out. They have Rider. We are also at 8 life, so gotta be somewhat mindful there. Okay, so... I'm actually gonna steal their Goose. So that way... One sec. Let me... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play this out. Copy Agent. Discard you. I'm gonna take a Goose to gain life. No attacks. Because what I can do is I could just keep making food to gain a bunch of life. Yeah. Sweet, sweet. We did our thing. We did our thing. So in this matchup, I want the Healer of the Glades. I want Return to Nature. And I think I want Karn. Mass Manipulation's not as good in this matchup. Fae's not a bad blocker, at least. Probably just get rid of the Cloudkins. They don't really profitably work. And one card. Probably just the Agent. There's not as many good things to steal. We really need to make sure we can shut off the oven. I'm not sure if these decks are playing Corvald right now. Okay, so they're on the play. They did kind of stumble on mana. This is a keep. We have two ways to deal with the oven. Yeah, Corvald's the dragon. Cavalier is good. Is this an instant? So they go oven here. Hey Feetzler, it is a Risen Reef kind of elemental tribal deck that's looking to gain a bunch of value. Let's destroy this before they can get value off it. Risen Reef with Quasi-Duplicate to gain a bunch of value. Yeah, let's do this. We can get Great Henge out faster. That guarantees this next turn, followed by the Henge. Okay, well they got Cat Oven. So I don't want to just naked put out Karn. Take the dual land here. So this is 4 mana next turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can effectively go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then also play out Karn. And then hopefully start chaining some Risen Reefs. They need to speed up this interface on the deck. Okay, so they do have Corvald. That is problematic. Because the issue is now this would become 7 toughness. So let's scry first. I'm actually going to keep this on top. It lets us go off with Risen Reefs. Doesn't this... Oh, it's whenever creatures come in. So they can sack this and it gets big enough. It's probably fine. I can buy a couple more turns. I think the opponent's realizing what Karn does. Could really use a Fae of Wishes here. Agent would be good. So they might overcommit. To killing here. So we're gonna chain together some Risen Reefs at least. It buys us some turns. They can Corvold into Karn. Is that just lethal? Yeah, they might just have us. So let's gain a life, draw a card, Quasi-Duplicate. Got Agent, but we are a turn too slow. Agent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting this out a bit too slow. Alright, so we know they have Corvold. That changes the way we play this. In that regard, I do think we want the Agents. Play one Henge. Take Karn out. Karn might be a little lackluster in this matchup. I probably just want another Return to Nature. Because they have like a really easy time to take it out. Let's run it like that. This deck's going to be the eternal 1-2 lose the match. Being on the play helps. Yeah, keep this hand. We steal in tins. Creatures are planeswalkers. So they got the cat. I think I want to guarantee the Nissa this turn. I need the blue source, so we'll just take that. Okay, they go Vraska. So it's actually pretty good because we can... That's quite aggressive. So we need to put some damage on this because it could downtick on our island. The oven. They have double oven. So we can steal one of the ovens. Ooh, actually, it's a pretty good play. Is I can. Oh, and they opted to sack that. So we can take a setup turn here. The Druid would likely block. So let's see if I could get them to sack their Druid. So my guess is what they're going to do here is block here, sack to the oven. So then I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could go Agent, take their Vraska, destroy an oven. They got a sack there. Make this, cast this. Because the next turn I can Quasi-Duplicate, take the oven, Quasi-Duplicate, take the land. So let's go you. Quasi-Duplicate. Doing this before attackers, so they have to decide if they want to sack. Got him! Okay, so we're getting there. The deck's slowly doing what it was intended to do. So I'm going to wrap this one up. The deck itself had its moments. I think I kind of like this configuration best out of any. When you can get it going with like Cavalier, Great Henge feels really sweet. It's just kind of bridging that midpoint. I may just want the healer, the Glades in the main, and play it kind of out like that. But overall, it was a sweet deck. The Beanstalks did kind of help us get ahead in mana, and I think that was better than the inconsistency of the Cloudkin Seer. So it's probably where I would stick to it in the long run for things. Anyways, gonna wrap this up. I'll probably come back tomorrow with a historic deck because it's up. And then once we get a couple of the data dumps for MTGO, I'll do a budget build series. I really like that Timur. Adventure deck. That was really sweet that we played in match 1. So might do a budget build series on that as opposed to the green-black versions. But we'll see. If you do have any preference, do drop it in the comments on the YouTube video once this is up, and we can take it from there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great day or evening, depending on what part of the world you're in, and thanks for stopping by.